This is what we're dealing with. Ain't no how step on Marcus J. All right, JR, I want you on this one first.
Uh-oh.
We looked at the video earlier. Sharkeisha. Sharkeisha is the name of a young black female that has gone viral. For those people who have never heard the name Sharkeisha, what I need you to do, for the interest of actually listening, whether you're listening to us right now live on Loud City, on TuneIn, on MixLR, or if you're listening to us during our replays on MixLR, if you're listening to us on our replay on YouTube, well, if you have not heard of the name Sharkeisha, what I need you to do is YouTube Sharkeisha and watch the video in one window while you're listening to us talk about it in another window. Basically, what this video is you got a couple of young girls. My estimation is they're anywhere in age between 17 and 25. I think I kind of captured the ages. You got two girls standing, look like they're communicating. You got one girl that's filming it. Sharkeisha is the young girl who you see in a very aggressive way sucker punch this other girl. And she hits her so hard that you can hear the smack.
Flashback.
You can hear the smack in the video. And of course the girl drops because she doesn't see it coming. She don't drop because she a punk. She dropped because she got snuck. And then Sharkeisha is literally punching her, and then she kicks her in the face. At this point of the video, you hear the girl who's filming the video try to get Sharkeisha to stop. You see the other girls intervene, try to peel Sharkeisha off of this young girl. But here's the reason why. Here's the reason why I want to bring it up. Here's the reason why I want to bring it up. This video has gone viral, and Sharkeisha was being hailed as some kind of hood hero, in the sense that everybody's watching the video, everybody's laughing at the video. Now, Colin is correcting me, saying she didn't get peeled off. That's not really where I want to go with it. Where I want to go with it is the fact that our people, World Star Hip Hop, that website, and places like it always seem to boost up the aggressor and boost up the person who is the perpetuator of bullshit. And what I need to know is why someone like me, someone like the crew in the studio here, why do we even know the name Sharkeisha? And why do we care about the name Sharkeisha? And why are we talking about Sharkeisha? So JR, I want you in on this one first. You can kind of go the way with what I set up, or you can give me what you think on your own. Sharkeisha, what you got?
First off, we talking about Sharkeisha for one because of the culture, and I don't fault World Star Hip Hop per se, because they're making money. Now, whether they're making money from the advertisers on their site, it all resorts to the amount of hits they get. That's what it boils down to, and hits mean money, and so that's why World Star is doing it from that perspective. But it's a culture thing. No one, if you sit down and you talk to people on an individual basis and ask them with no cameras, no glory, no nothing around, and just ask them what they think about that, 9 times out of 10 they either gonna say that was wrong, and if that was me, I'm coming back for each one of these people individually, especially the girl that threw the punch, but not just the girl that threw the punch. Now, with having said that as well, when you get people in a group, it's kind of like that True Blood, vampires in a nest. They get that nesting mentality. They want to like just go crazy. I can't explain I can't explain it. It's just people, when they get around other people, they want to boost up the person that is creating the act of violence. But let that person get knocked out. Like, they wanted to boost up the girl who got at the bus driver, but the minute the bus driver put the girl in her place, which is what she needed that. The minute they did that, then it's like, oh, why would you do that? Why you can't do that? Like, it's like there's a culture of don't discipline anybody. I have no idea how we got there, But there's this culture like, don't discipline. And I'm not saying a village to raise a child. I'm not saying everybody put your hands on everybody else's kids. But there's just a culture of, let's just go around beating on people. Like, what is that?
We getting a hit in social media. Juan is saying that he faults her friends too. How you going to say no when you sitting there taping it? You've been bamboozled. Juan, I agree with you, brother. That is a very, very good point. Carlton Banks, I know you saw the video. We watched it before we started the show tonight. Part of the reason why we started late, we want to make sure everybody was on the same page with regards to their opinions on the show. Ain't No Hat Steppin with Marcus J. Live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Carlton Banks returning to us. First time back since September. We're glad to have him. Carlton Banks, what's your thoughts on Sharkeisha?
I'll say it like this. This is a fluke. This is that 1 in a million video that WorldStar has that's gone viral. This isn't the first fight WorldStar has broadcasted. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop saying the website's name because we're promoting them. This isn't the first time this site has shown a fight of any standpoint. It's shown several. It's just certain ones. The person who got beat went to the news. It's not often you see people going to the news after getting a butt whipping. Because I've wondered several times, how can you have video evidence of a melee and nothing happens? You don't even hear about it. I can think of, this is probably about the 4th video of any type of social media that I've been on that I know about from WorldStar. Now, granted, I said I wasn't going to say the name. Damn it, I just said it again. I'm holding up the camera now. That's why I'm saying, Kevin Hart, turn up. But again, as many videos are on that site, I can only think of 4 incidents. I can think of the incident where the people got beat up at McDonald's, the bus driver, this one, and there's one more, and it's another fight. But again, they're all fights. The girl who got assaulted, the girl who claimed she was drunk and got assaulted and whatnot, and live while people were walking by. Again, I've always wondered how come these people don't get assaulted or arrested or anything. I'm saying assaulted, but arrested from being physically captured of breaking a law, of hitting somebody, being in a fight. So the only reason why this one is so public now, because the girl who got beat, their mama called CBS, ABC, NBC, UPenn, or Fox, and said, hey, need to do something about this. Because see, personally, I ain't gonna tell you what I would do, because we on the airways, and this may incriminate me at a later time if something happens. I can't tell you exactly what, but if something happens, then here's the evidence. So 804-402-2893 to get a comment. And if you want to call us up, continue to hit us in social media. Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. All right, SY, I know that you did not know about Sharkeisha before you came in here tonight, because I was sitting next to you when you saw the video for the first time, and I saw your organic reaction, and I asked you to not say anything in that moment because I wanted it to be organic on air, which was unfair of me to ask you, but the reality is I did want it to be legitimate once you finally shared what you felt with the listeners. So now is your time to kind of get into it. Sharkeisha, what's your thoughts?
I want to whoop her ass. I really do. And apparently the girl that she sucker punched most likely would have done the same thing to her if she wanted to fight her and fight her fairly. I get the impression by looking at the video, with her standing so close to her, this may have been a friend or somebody that she trusted wouldn't, punch her in the face with such force from her arm. Like practically half this chick's weight hit her in the face. I want to go to school with her, and I want you to point her out for me, and we gonna bust Sharkeisha because she deserves it. What she did was totally unfair, and I hope something comes that'll make her think, blink, stop, drop, roll anytime she gets ready to hit somebody else.
But then you're going to jail too.
But see, you know what? It's some people that you.
Yes,
What
you
if
have.
that was my daughter? Now her mother, I'm sorry.
We share that conversation off the air.
News.
So we share that conversation
No,
off the air.
I will go to the news
No, see,
after I
incriminating.
bust you
Plausible
for
deniability.
busting my child.
Plausible
I don't
deniability.
care. That is my child.
I understand.
And if you want to hit her, then you hit her like you got some sense. But if you want to sucker punch her,
Right.
then you should be prepared for mommy to come and finish it off.
Plausible
Straight from the
deniability.
Lioness
I
to Legacy
don't
Internet
care.
Radio.
I don't care.
She don't care.
That is somebody's child. If that was my child, I'd be like, oh no, we gonna go take care of Sharkeisha right now. Sharkeisha, whatever her name is.
She working her hands, y'all. Y'all can't see it, but she working the knuckles.
You
like,
will not get away with hitting my child. In
We
the face like that.
we still
There's
getting
no
some
way.
hits on social media. My brother Juan is still listening to us. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for supporting
Juan?
us here.
Juan.
Steppin with Marcus J. He's saying that Sharkeisha video is some foolishness. He's still trying to understand why people are blowing her up. She sucker punched the girl, and it sounded worse than it was. She's going to end up getting herself chin checked. Which I definitely agree with that. But he also faults her friends, which he mentioned earlier, and he also is saying that they were friends. It was over some kind of boy, Sharkeisha's boyfriend, which I think you did gather that from listening to the video. What I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to kind of get their word in before I brought this up. For me, it's not about Sharkeisha at all. It really isn't. Sharkeisha ended up being the reason why this has come up for me, but it's not about her as an individual. My question, and that's why I want you in on this one first, why the hell do we glorify bullshit? Like, why do we have, Sharkeisha as the person that we talk about? You know what I mean? And I know that as the host of the show, I'm bringing her up, so I am partly responsible, but the reason why I brought this up was to highlight the fact that we always seem to glorify bullshit.
Marcus, I have no reason. I cannot understand why every time somebody does something stupid.
But you understand my question.
I understand your question. We go and we publicize it. We talk about it like it's the crowning glory. It's not. What we're showing is how maybe we are not teaching our kids appropriately. I mean, you just stand outside and do this. What does that say about what's happening inside the household? We're just, I don't get it. I don't know why we're doing it. I don't know why. It really needs to stop. It really needs to stop.
We're getting a couple of hits on social media. First, Michelle is checking in. What's up, girl?
Hey, Michelle.
Thank you. Take a picture with that Ain't No Hashtag with Marcus J shirt you got.
Oh, sport that
I want to
shirt,
see that, Joy.
girl.
Put it on Facebook. Let everybody see it. Joy, she hasn't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies. Girl, they good. You need to check
I ain't
them
seen
joints
it either,
out.
sis.
You need to watch them joints, Joy. For real. Get my brother hook you up, and y'all sit there and watch them together, and then we could talk about it next time I see you. Jay Grizzy, host of the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy and Lissa P on Wednesdays from 7 to 9, is saying it's Sharkeisha, Marcus J. Get it right before she come in here and roll on you. Leave it to Jay Grizzy, of course, to bring some comedy to it. But I just don't, JR, I don't get why. And I know I brought it to SY first, but I don't get why we always seem to glorify craziness. World Star Hip Hop. I know, Carlton, I appreciate you not wanting to say their name, and I appreciate you wanting to protect the Legacy Internet Radio brand, legacyinternetradio.com, where we broadcast here live from the Den. We are the flagship show, of course. I understand him trying to protect our brand, but the fact of the matter is I'm saying the name World Star Hip Hop because I want people to know if they go to that website, all they going to see is ratchet, which is the new word for bullshit. Like, we used to say bullshit when we was a kid, and Carlton hasn't been here for a while. We say shit a lot. Well, I say shit a lot. Y'all still can't say shit. I say shit because I'm the host. Y'all can't say shit. I say shit. But the truth of the matter is World Star Hip Hop is the place where they glorify ratchet. And what I want to know is why we give a damn about Sharkeisha. We talking about it on this show because your Facebook wall blew up, your Facebook wall blew up, your Facebook wall blew up, and so did mine. That's the reason why we talking about it. We talking about it because it's there. But why is it there?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. One phrase. Let me tell you what happened to Red ass. That's why we glorify it. Friday, D-Bowl and them playing dice. They throwing the dice. Red gets uppercut. That had to be the single funniest moment that I can remember. Like, cause he got uppercutted to, like, it seemed like the moon and back. And I think in so many times in movies, when somebody get knocked out, like, there's a big laugh about it. And then when you see those types of movies enough, it desensitizes you. So we deal with so much with quote unquote, and I'm using the air quotes really, reality television, where things like this sometimes go down, that when we look on the internet and we're looking at these videos, we're no longer putting that connection to a human life. We don't really understand that, like, this really happened to this girl. Like, she got lit up. Like, she, like, you know, and not to disassociate myself from any of the blame, because I cracked a giggle when because I said hold up, you got to rewind that, because they wouldn't let me. I cracked the giggle, so I'm not absolving myself of any kind of blame here, but it's what we go through as a society. We glorify that type of stuff. And
it's funny that you say that, because my man Juan is still listening to us, and he says that our people and culture have changed drastically. Too many kids raising kids and not enough people checking them when they're wrong. More laughing and not enough belt swinging. Word is bond, brother. I certainly 100%, so does SY and the crew, agree with you. And again, I appreciate your support. That's Virginia Union University right there, Panther Pride. I'm also getting a hit from Steven Sykes, Mr. LP, who hosting live on the radio with Mr. Sincere, as well as Miss Brandy, on Tuesday nights right here on Legacy Internet Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 9. Steven says that it's just the foolishness of our culture that for years we allowed it because we got into this don't tell me what to do with my child. Now actions like this are happening more often, and it's glamorous. It's the negativity of our black people. We have to come above it. We need to shut down sites like World Star Hip Hop and Media Takeout. Definitely some truth being spoken there from my main man Juan, as well as Steven Sykes. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. I want to move away.
Can I
Carl Banks, I'm sorry.
I disagree with some of those statements, because
okay, go ahead, go for it.
You're saying, or it's being said, that it's our culture. No, it's not our culture. Why are we taking ownership of that? We're not the only ones on that site. So I want to go ahead and throw that out there first. It's not just our culture. It's a lot of people's culture. It's a lot of people, period. So before I claim it, I don't want to be associated with saying that's my culture.
That's fair. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand why you would go there. But the reality is I'm going to disagree with you disagreeing with them, simply because when we say our culture, we say black people, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about us. The reality is the fact that when you turn on the television, you turn on the news, the people who are in a position to show us what we do choose not to show the brothers standing in the rain waiting for their diplomas on graduation day. They choose not to show the brothers who are firefighters who run into the buildings to pull out little kids and old people and things like that. What they choose to show you is Sharkeisha and things like that. So when you know that both sides are our culture, we can't accept one without accepting the other. The truth of the matter is, all of that is us. We can't reject our bad and only accept our good. We got to take it all in. And so, respectfully, I disagree, which I'm glad to have you back, because we almost never agree.
Right.
But I disagree because it's all of us, you know. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather be a black person and see some black person doing some ratchet shit on television than not be a black person, period. I love being a black man. Absolutely love it. I love our culture. I love the struggle that we come from. I love the fight that we have in us. I love the fact that we can band together and we can look at our history and we can see the things that we've overcome, and we can look at our future and know the things that we can do. Do I get frustrated at the nonsense that I see where people like Sharkeisha bring us down? Absolutely. But I also know that it's a culture outside of our culture who is designed to be a part of us being dragged down. And so knowing that, I want to be part of the solution. which is the reason why we do Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J, which is the reason why we have Legacy Internet Radio, which is the reason why JR and Carlton Banks and SY and Brandy and the Dating Pool Diva and Jay Grizzy and Lissa P and every single person that's part of this, we come in here every single week and we scream to the top of the mountains how we do what we do, because we not Sharkeisha only. We are Sharkeisha, but we are also the president of the United States. And we need to understand that, because if we walk away from the fact that Sharkeisha is part of us, then we being disingenuous. And we can't teach our youth about good versus bad if we only show them good. We got to show them both sides. Mm-hmm. And that's what we got to do. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. Speaking of good and bad, I'm going to step off my soapbox because I'm short and I need a soapbox from time to time. And I think I look good on one. But here's the thing. Marissa Alexander is a sister down in Florida who she got real mad at her ex because he was trying to kill her. I think if somebody was trying to kill you, JR, you get real mad at them.
For sure.
And if you had a gun and they was trying to kill you, especially when they tried to kill you before, you would probably shoot at them to try to get them to stop trying to kill you. You think that's fair?
It's safe to say.
Yeah, it's safe to say. That's why if you had a guy that you was seeing, first of all, before I go on, Michelle, I see what you did, girl. Michelle actually posted pictures of herself wearing the Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J shirts. I just saw it pop up and whatnot while I told her, girl, post them shirts. And she posted them shirts. All right. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for your support. But that's why, sister, if you was kind of dealing with, you know, like a weirdo, crazy person who was trying to bust that ass and you had a gun, you don't want to kill nobody because you're not a killing person, but you'd shoot in the ceiling and try to say, don't kill me, right? You think that's fair, right?
That'd be fair.
Somewhat fair, right. And when you live in a state, the same state where, you know, George Zimmerman could shoot a kid in the chest and kill him unarmed, same state where George Zimmerman could smack a white girl and actually go to jail the same day. You live in the same state where you, as a black female, Marissa Alexander, takes one in the chest. Well, actually, I'm sorry. George Zimmerman put one in the chest of Trayvon. Marissa Alexander shoots in the ceiling of her house where her ex is trying to kill her, JR. You think it's all right for her to go to jail for 20 years?
Nope.
You think it's weird that's why that she went to jail for 20 years?
That's insanity.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to the point because I always like to, you know, pontificate. Now, once again, I'm on my damn soapbox. So I'll get to the point. My point is, this is the same damn prosecutor that let George Zimmerman, you know, get acquitted because they didn't try hard enough to get him. Yeah. She got out, y'all. She got out. She's getting a new trial. New trials in the spring. Let's talk about it. You know, I'll get off my soapbox. Carlton Banks, I want you in on this one first. What's your thoughts?
Well, okay, again, we don't always see eye to eye, and that's part of the reason I'm back in this piece.
And that's the reason why I want you in on it first.
Exactly. Her circumstances are totally different than that of Trayvon and Zimmerman. Her circumstances are she had kids around her. Her circumstances are that I don't quote me. I forget some of the integral portions of this story, but she had to go get the gun versus already having the gun. Something related to that whole matter took effect, and then again, like I said, she shot the gun with others around. So the letter of the law versus the color of her skin played a huge factor in some of the terms that she got. Do I feel that the judge was overzealous in the situation? Yes, I do. Do I think she had a good defense? No, I don't. Do I think Marcus is going to tell me I'm disingenuous with some of my comments before the end of the night? Yes, I do. So, needless to say,
Such a no.
Yeah, glad you know, because you know I'm gonna jump on you. I'm gonna wait for them to speak, but yeah, I'm gonna jump on you.
It's the letter of the law really plays a factor. I could talk about something else where the letter of the law and how it portrays to college sports. There's certain rules that govern certain people, and you wonder what really happens in these scenarios. But that's another story altogether different. Like I said, the biggest thing I wanted to say, and I can't remember all of the particulars, of her situation, they are different. And the letter of the law says she got to do the time. I hate to see it. I hate that.
Said is what up, bro? Said is saying it's the same as the people who watch the Roman gladiators. That's why Carlton was kind of throwing to you, give you an opportunity to make your comment on what he just said.
Now, when you say she got out,
she's out on bail. She's out on bail. She's out on bail, and she's getting a new trial in the spring. It's, I believe it's in March, but don't quote me on it. I know it's in spring. She got out in time for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's great.
And we talked about this a lot. Yeah. Earlier this year when the trial went down and she got convicted. I'll save my commentary on it for after you and Jay have an opportunity to speak.
I'm happy for her. I'm glad that she got out. I'm glad she was able to spend Thanksgiving with her family. I feel bad that they're trying to give her 20 years for trying to protect herself. Who knows what would have happened to her and whoever else would have been around. She has the right to protect herself. She wasn't aiming at him.
Right.
So what if a little bit of cement, a little bit of the drywall hit him? So what? I think it's good for her.
If I'm remembering this correctly, was that in Carlton Banks, you said you know a little bit more about it. Was this not the woman who they were in an altercation inside the home? She went outside, got the gun, and came back inside, or reapproached
it. Something like that was the case, right?
Okay, so this is the same case that we're talking about. Now, see, the only thing that I would say is, in that case, she had an out. She could have left. She could have called the cops, and she could have left. If she left to get the gun and come back, she could have safely fled the scene. That I do agree with Carlton Banks on that aspect. However, having said that too, I think it's not. I think that in this case, the law should be adjusted. Sometimes you come across laws and things during the course of administering laws where certain things need to be changed, and I think a lot of times we get hot over a certain way that one situation went, and so we put that anger and animosity onto another situation there where maybe we should take a step back and say, well, if she could have left, then she should have left. But I understand her putting the fear of God into this man and busting off a shot. Because like you said, I probably would have done the same thing, But at the same time, and when you're looking at the letter of law, she probably should have just bonked out.
Right. They miss Sophia.
All right, let me. I'm gonna get to some comments from social media. I'm gonna take the last word.
But 20 years, no. I just want to say that. 20 years, no.
And then we'll take a break because I'm really excited. In the next segment, we're going to talk to Cinemax, who is the host of Iron Horse Radio, which is the new show that's debuting here on Legacy Internet Radio, started this Thursday from 7 to 9. So I want to definitely make sure we get to that interview. And I hope you guys are still listening. First, my main man Juan is still listening to us. He is saying that he could agree with you, Carlton, if Zimmerman had placed himself in a position by not following the orders of the police. Mr. LP Steven Sykes is also directly responding to your comment. What is wrong with the letter of the law versus common sense? If I'm chasing him with the gun, he has kids in his home, he's not going to get a gun to protect his family. As usual, we disagree. It's one of those things where, to me, it's so obvious that the laws are different for different people. And when you see a mother who is postpartum by just a few weeks in her home, I don't give a damn if she went outside and came back in. This is a man who bust that ass already. This is a man who tried to rape her already. This is a man who threatened to kill her already, all by his own admission. He has admitted to this. Yeah, all that's on the record. He is in her home, and she took her gun, which was licensed in the state of Florida, and she did not point it at him. She pointed it at the ceiling to say, "Get the hell out of here, else I'm gonna put one in your chest." She could have put one in his chest. She chose not to. She put it in the ceiling to say, "Get out of here, or else I'm gonna put one in your chest." And because of that, she gets charged with attempted murder, and she gets charged with child endangerment? Really?
No.
What about the fact that he's in the house trying to hurt her? Isn't there some child endangerment there because he admits already that he had already harmed her? He already admits this. He admits this. This is on the record. And so when I hear people that want to look at her and put her as the aggressor, and they want to say that her situation is different than George Zimmerman, that enrages me. It drives me crazy. So I'm looking at the two of y'all across this table like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Because, and Carlton, you know this is what we do. Right. And JR, you may not see me like this, but damn it, you're going to see me like this tonight. Because I'm like, for real, yo, for real, seriously, when we got this white dude walking around in the dark with a freaking gun, cut that bullshit. He's not white. Whatever. Okay. Every single person who saw him that night saw a white man who shot a black boy. So we find out his mother is freaking Latin. Whatever, man. Cut that bullshit out, for real. He's a white dude who shot a black boy dead in the street. They sent him home with his gun. And the only reason he got arrested was because Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Warren Ballantyne, Michael Baisden, and Tom Joyner, and all these people made us think about it. So 6 weeks later, they said, all right, black people is mad. They about to come here to Sanford and tear up shit. Let's go ahead and lock him up, right? But a week ago, when he slapped around his white girl, they locked him up the same night, took his guns. Y'all killing me with that, man, for real. So I'm going to give y'all a chance. Y'all get the last word. I will not say no more on this subject. Y'all say what y'all want, and then we're going to take a break because I already said what I'm going to say on it.
I know Carl going to get at you, so I'm going to just say this. And it's,
I get fired up because y'all killing me with that shit.
It's not that I don't feel you on a common sense level. You know what I'm saying? Because common sense says that, you know, she shouldn't be jailed for 20 years. If she's getting beat like that, she should be able to do something because the law doesn't. In reality, the law doesn't protect women well enough. But it's still not the same as the Trayvon Martin situation. As much as I think George Zimmerman was guilty and all that, like it's just not the exact same situation. Trayvon Martin had nowhere to go. Like he was basically like, yo, why is this? He's on the phone. Why is this man following me? Like he is trying to get away. And he only becomes an aggressor when he's pitted it. Like he's in the standing ground situation. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't have any weapons.
Where does she
but she has the weapon. If she can make it to her car to get this gun.
Yeah, but where are her kids?
In the house.
Okay, I'm not leaving. I don't understand her leaving the place, but I'm not going to get in the place.
She didn't leave the place. Let's make sure. I said I wouldn't say nothing, and I won't. But I want to make sure the facts are accurate. The facts are she is in her house and he cornered her in her garage.
She has
when I say left the place, let me clarify. When I say left the place, I mean go out of the house to get the gun. That's what I mean. If she can go out the house to get the gun, she can go out the house to a neighbor's house and call the police.
No, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave the premises with this idiot in my house with my kids in the house. No, I am gonna go get my gun, and good for her for shooting in the ceiling because I would be getting 20.
But why is it okay? And damn it, I know I said I wouldn't say nothing, but okay. Why is it okay for everybody else to stand their ground? We can talk about the guy. We can talk about the guy in Texas who allegedly was standing his ground when the neighbor's house was getting robbed, and he put two in the chest of two Latino guys, old white dude. He was standing his ground. When he called the police, and he said, "I'm about to shoot them," and they told him, "Don't shoot them," and he shot him anyway, and he got to keep his gun and never got charged. He never got charged. George Zimmerman had to have people come there.
Now that's a case where I totally 100%.
So, but see, the thing was, they told her
at first. That was
the whole thing. She's in her home.
But she went to get the gun. The gun
defend herself.
She has the right to do it.
There are different intricacies about this situation that are not the same as Trayvon and Zimmerman. They're not.
Well,
one person
could protect themselves and the other person couldn't.
She was not already carrying the weapon.
That's the only difference I see. She was able to protect herself, though.
She was able to protect herself, but the thing is, how you go about protecting yourself.
Man, by any means necessary. If you beat me,
Brother
you rape me. I mean, really, what more can I take?
I'm in my house and I own a gun. I own a gun in my house because I have a licensed gun in my house. I got somebody here who already bust my ass, who told me that they was going to kill me. It's not okay for me to go get my gun?
I'm not saying that.
I'm
just saying it's not the same.
Why is it not the same? Okay, it's not the same as Trayvon Martin. But is it okay to you? Forget about what actually happened in the case. Forget about George Zimmerman. Forget about Trayvon. Forget about her being convicted. I'm asking you your opinion. Do you think that it was right? Forget about that she got 20 years. Do you think that it was okay for her to be charged and convicted, regardless of how much time she got?
Do I think it's okay? No.
Okay, cool. That's all I needed.
I absolutely don't think it's okay.
Calm Banks. Do you think that she should have been charged and convicted?
Yes.
Okay, tell me why. Because since JR agreed...
Do you think it's okay, though?
No.
Because you asked me if I thought it was okay. So I want to get...
I asked him the same question I asked you. Because if you agree that she should not have been charged and convicted, then we don't need to talk no more.
Right, because I don't agree with the law.
We don't need to talk no more. We can argue the small shit. But the big thing was charged and convicted. Right. We agree that she shouldn't have been. We don't need to talk no more. Calm Banks. You think that it was okay that she was charged and convicted? I need to know why.
She was charged and convicted based off the letter of the law, and I'm going to get the differences between. The thing is, there were different scenarios involved, okay, of how she fired the gun. That's what plays a portion in the law. Now, common sense, I can push you right now. That's assault. I go to jail. Okay? I'm just saying. But that's just it. Did I mean intent? You don't know that. Did I mean harm? You don't know that. But a simple push gets me put in jail. That's assault. Regardless of how I did it, when I did it, why I did it. I go to jail. I show up at the judge the next day or two. I can possibly go to jail.
Answer the question, man. Get to the point.
So the letter of the law, she was convicted. Do I agree with the sentence? No. So ask me two different. If you're going to ask me that question,
I asked the question irrelevant of the sentence.
Irrelevant of the sentence.
Irrelevant
Do
of
I
the
think
sentence.
she was guilty? Yes.
Okay. When we talk about the letter of the law, here's where I got a problem. I will take the final word. We're going to move on. The letter of the law sometimes is nonsense because the truth of the matter is, just because it's the law don't make it right. And we know too often that when we see these laws, that they are not applied fairly. And so when you can convince me that the laws are applied fairly to everybody, then I'll let you get the letter of the law argument. Until then, I ain't trying to hear it. And that's just real talk, especially when you can tell me a little ass crack rock will put me in jail for 20 years, but I can have a whole bag of cocaine and I get Martha Stewart jail. Ain't no half Steppin Marcus jail. We're going to take our first break of the night, and when we come back, we got the host of Iron Horse Radio, Cinemax, is going to join us. New show debuting right here on Legacy Internet Radio this Thursday from 7 to 9, and the hostess who hosts that show is going to be here to talk about it. Ain't no how Steppin Marcus J. I got JR, I got SY, and I got the returning Carlton Banks who's fighting with me like he always do. Right here in the building, and you the listeners. Mixel, Loud City, and tune in. Ain't no how Steppin Marcus J. Live from the den. Stay with us. Be back in a minute.